So inflation is not just an American problem, it's a world problem now. Inflation has skyrocketed around the world in recent years. Now, what is the cause of this inflation? Well, it's simply the governments are spending too much money. They spent so much money during COVID, during the lockdowns, and basically didn't produce enough. The economies were completely shut down. And now we're recovering from it. We're still in the you have to remember, it takes decades to get recover from something. We're still recovering from the 2008 financial crisis. Literally, and that was 16 years ago. We're still recovering from something that happened 16 years ago. And it's going to take forever for this to get fixed. The solution is to stop spending as much money as we have been. Get rid of all unnecessary spending. Okay, so and the number one way to do that for the United States is to stop getting involved in foreign wars, stop supporting Ukraine, Israel, Haiti, whatever. We also need to cut down on a lot of spending in the United States. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but we're going to have to probably raise the retirement age to 72. It sucks, but we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to raise taxes. We're going to have to do all these things in order to pay for this, in order to stop the inflation. We also should, I wouldn't say get rid of the Federal Reserve, but monitor it. Monitor them in Congress so that they don't just keep printing money. There should be a law that we need to balance the budget and have a surplus. The last time we had a surplus was under Bill Clinton. We actually had a surplus during the Clinton era. And the last time before we had that surplus was during Andrew Jackson. So Andrew Jackson and Bill Clinton were the only two presidents that we've had a surplus in the United States. And we were on a trajectory to pay off our debt if we were under Bill Clinton's plan by this year. But we didn't follow Bill Clinton's plan. After 9/11, we spent so much more on the military. We bombed Iraq, which had nothing to do with 9/11. And what have we got to show for it? All these wars. And the Middle East still hasn't changed except for the United Arab Emirates, and that's about it. But the Middle East is not going to change. They don't want to change. We should leave them alone. They're not going to change to our values. I mean, how dare we go over to another country and tell them how to live their life? The reason the Romans lasted so long, the Roman Empire lasted so long, is they didn't go around telling other people what to do. They just collected taxes. That's what we should do. Go around the world and just let people live their lives and collect taxes. That's it. That's all we got to do. We have to be the world's policeman. We have to tell people what's right and wrong and all this other nonsense. And a lot of times we get things wrong. A lot of times we support dictatorships over communism or whatever. So, I mean, this is all nonsense. Inflation is going to keep skyrocketing if we keep doing this, if we keep adding more debt, and it's a worldwide phenomenon. We need to really cut back on stuff. Our economic power is not what it used to be. Also, there's too few people that are using too many resources. We probably need to have more children. I mean, the more children we have, the inflation would come down, because then, well, you have a lot of people that are using the same resources, and then that way the inflation will come down. But now you got too few people that are using too many resources. So we really need to fix this, and it's a worldwide phenomenon. And I care more about inflation than I do what other countries are doing, more than what we are our social issues in the United States. I really don't give a shit if about transgender or abortion or any of that other stuff. I mean, if you want to have an abortion, or if you're a transgender adult, whatever, I'm not going to stop you. But that doesn't mean that if someone is against that, and if someone's against that and they become president, but they can get their inflation under control, I would be 100% behind them. That's the number one thing that's affecting us is inflation. And, so it's worldwide.